Ain't even nothing personal.
I ain't gonna take it personal.
So don't you take it personal.
I might take it personal.
But either way it go,
You are now tuning in with
The It's Nothing Personal podcast.
But we had a conversation that matter to the culture.
The name of our podcast is Nothing Personal. And before we move forward, we want to discuss what that means to each of us. What does it mean to take it personal? What does it mean for it not to be personal? How do you grow as an individual? And I don't mean you telling somebody how to do it. Tell us how you did it. Tell us how you got to the point in your life where it's not personal and you can respond to life in a healthy way. We're not perfect people. We're still growing. We are still learning. But this is a reality that we all must face. A lot of things don't happen to us just because it's us. Shit just be happening. And it ain't always something you gotta take personal. KD, how did you reach this point in your life where you stand so heavily on not taking everything personal and having that balance, the emotional balance?
Man, me personally, it just comes from reflect and review. Man, as I grow, I always dive back into my past and do those reviews, you know what I'm saying? Just take that trip down memory lane and, you know what I'm saying, try to find a sense of relatability and a sense of what I would do different. And throughout all of that, to sum it all up, man, I came to a point where I felt like I wasn't in my truth. I wasn't in my truth in the earlier parts of my life, man, and once I came into pushing forward towards growth and, you know what I'm saying, like living in my truth and not being attached to my ego, I just started understanding the fact that you find so much freedom in not taking things personal and not attaching to everyone else's opinion. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you do yourself a disservice when you are more indulged in opinions than your self-view. You know what I'm saying?
That sounds like that you are trying to become more self-aware.
Yeah.
On how you impact the world around you.
Exactly.
As opposed to how it impacts you.
Because we all gotta coexist.
Exactly. That's something that I think that we need to say again. Being self-aware, being aware of how you impact the people around you, not how things impact you. Things aren't always just happening to you. A lot of times our mindset creates situations. TK, when it comes to taking it personal or not taking it personal, where you are in your life, how have you gotten here? How do you feel about taking things personal or not taking them personal? How does it better you to do either or?
For me, it really just took me looking in the mirror and saying, hey, how can I judge or how can I give you advice or try to tell you anything if I haven't even looked at myself and corrected me?
Thanks.
I believe in a no judgment zone, so I feel like people should be able to come to each other and literally pour out what you feel, you know what I'm saying, about that person or how that person has made you feel.
Mm-hmm.
Or just in general, you know what I'm saying, you may be going through something and you want to get it off your chest. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we need to just listen and let people, you know what I'm saying, vent sometimes. Like, we ain't always got to be so quick to react and respond.
Right.
Like, a lot of times we just be listening.
Yeah.
But we ain't really listening.
We're not absorbing.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, we
Yeah.
ain't really taking it in like we really should because you heard nothing this person said because you were only listening to respond.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You wasn't listening to hear what I'm saying. Like, you ain't trying to feel me. You just want to react.
Right.
So I feel like sometimes we got to look at ourselves and focus on what's wrong with us. What's going on in our house, cleaning up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Me first before I can go out here and be like, hey, You know what I'm saying? I think you should do this.
Yeah.
I can't give you advice if I ain't done the work.
Right.
So yeah, it's really about self-reflection for me.
And see, I think to piggyback on what both of you have said, I do believe that's what we want to convey here.
Yeah.
We're not here to necessarily give you advice.
Yeah.
We're self-reflecting and having a conversation of that self-reflection amongst people who are on that same journey. It doesn't matter if you're a step behind or right with me or 50 steps ahead. We're still on the same journey of self-realization. So self-realization starts with, like the both of you have said, self-awareness. And I think that's a major key. Keys when it comes to taking things personal or not. How have you gotten to this point in your life and that understanding of that concept? And how does it affect you in your day-to-day life?
I deal with a lot of small children, you feel me? And one thing about a child, they don't got no filter. They don't know that they hurt your feelings. They don't know, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you gotta treat everybody as if they're, you know, like a child.
Yeah.
Not, you know, like they're a child, because,
Yeah.
you know, there's plenty of grown people, but you have to mind it like a child. Like,
Right.
it has to mean as if it was a child.
Right.
And you find yourself not taking it personal.
I want you to expand on how the children have helped you become more in control of those reactions. Like, what experiences do you have on a day-to-day basis with children? Because that's very insightful for you to go on that level and say, I deal with kids every day and they're talking to me. Because they don't give a shit.
They don't. And, you know, they're your feet stink.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
They do.
But if I get mad at you, what the fuck is that gonna do for me?
Not a damn thing.
Start washing your feet, take care of your feet.
Yeah.
It's you.
Mm.
Self-awareness. You have to start with self.
Yes, sir.
And a child has taught me that. You got to start with self before you can do anything, make any positive impact on anybody. You got to start with yourself. And my children have done that by not having a filter. Now I correct their behavior. Hey, you can't be, you gotta care how you talk to people.
Yeah, yeah.
But at the beginning, it hits home first. It hits here. Like, damn, they could have. Somebody else would have said it. I might have taken it personal. But it is what everybody gonna be themselves.
Nice. I love that. I love that.
Right on.
And that just brings it back around self-awareness. You have to take care of self. You got to sweep around your own doorstep before you go out there with a street sweeper trying to clean up the whole neighborhood. You know, so I'm just going to agree with what each and every one of you said, that taking it personal or not taking it personal is definitely a self-choice. For me, it is about being in control of how I respond to things. You don't want to crash out, as the young folks say, over anything. We are individuals who have things to live for and probably have things to die for. So we should not be taking everything personal. We should not be ready to go to war or just go ahead and lay it down for every little thing, because we live in a world that's sick. We live around people that are sick, and I mean mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. You know, and you have to take that into account in your day-to-day interactions. It's Nothing Personal podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We are cooking here tonight with our first inaugural podcast. We hope y'all enjoying the show. Kendrick, TKO, Quise, pencil on the boards. We're at the recording studio, and so we hope y'all have learned a little bit about each person that's going to be here and talking with you every show. We come with nothing but love. We come with nothing but open hearts and understanding. We're not here to judge. We're not here to tell you you're wrong. We hope things that we say do not offend, and we don't want you to take it personal. We are who we are. We from down here in the South, and
baby, listen, I just left New Orleans. You talking about filter? No filter.
Ain't no such thing. So we thank y'all for being here with us tonight.